Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 7 of cyBARR Chats HITRUST Edition. Today, we're taking a look at the My CSF Compliance and Reporting Pack for HIPAA and discussing how you can best streamline HIPAA compliance in your organization with HITRUST Manager Swathi West. So let's jump right in. Swathi, to get started, can you tell us a little bit about why it's important to use strategic tools for HIPAA compliance?
It is important to use strategic tools like the HITRUST CSF framework or the HITRUST My CSF platform and the HITRUST CSF assessments for HIPAA compliance because they work together harmoniously to support organizations in their efforts to achieve, maintain, and also provide assurances surrounding HIPAA compliance. With the regulations constantly evolving and the threat landscape changing, organizations must continuously work one step ahead. And by using high trust integrated approach to information risk management and compliance, organizations can achieve their security and privacy goals, also including HIPAA compliance regulations. So it's very important to use strategic tools like HITRUST CSF framework or the platform to achieve HIPAA compliance.
Got it. And so what is the new My CSF Compliance and Reporting Pack for HIPAA feature, and how does it enhance the use of the My CSF tool?
In the HITRUST My CSF, the compliance and reporting pack for HIPAA collects specific information during the HITRUST CSF assessment process that is needed to comply with HIPAA. So we're already having the HITRUST CSF assessment. Our clients would go through that assessment already, but this compliance pack, reporting pack for HIPAA would just collect the information that's needed for HIPAA, which is already there. We already provide evidences, but by doing that, we're able to generate a report formatted by HIPAA controls that maps the applicable HIPAA requirements to our client's HITRUST CSF assessment. This also helps us by providing only the evidence that the OCR is requesting and also mapping each requirement to the corresponding policies and evidences to submit to OCR. So this just makes it easier and like a one-stop shop where you go, you have everything that's required for HIPAA and you can report it back to OCR. And this is good because, we already are doing the work and we're already providing the evidences, but by this, we're having this process more streamlined and there's like a one-stop shop where you can go and look at your HIPAA evidences and HIPAA audit.
Got it. Definitely sounds like it makes things easier. Why else should organizations utilize the My CSF Compliance and Reporting Pack to streamline compliance?
Organizations can use the MyCSF compliance reporting pack to streamline HIPAA compliance because it saves countless hours in gathering information and preparing reports associated with an OCR audit. Because like I said, we already have the information, we already provided. By using this pack, it just saves a lot of time because it takes the information that we already provided to give the HIPAA compliance pack. And this helps by we can rely on HITRUST CSF, and also this can help support HIPAA compliance effort. And this compliance pack is also a mechanism to quickly and easily self-report against any HIPAA compliance, anything that an OCR is requesting, all information, you can just go to this pack and you can provide to OCR. And also this is a very helpful resource during any interactions with like internal or external stakeholders. When they're inquiring about HIPAA compliance, you can just use this reporting pack to provide them with information. It's not just HITRUST My CSF now, and it also gives more information on your HIPAA and where you're at with HIPAA compliance. So it really helps with your communications with your stakeholders.
Got it. And one of the benefits of My CSF Compliance and Reporting Pack is what HITRUST calls reliability. Can you tell us what that is and why it's so important?
Great question. They always talk about reliability in regards to their HITRUST CSF assessments in general, because it is a great standard for information assurance reports. It is commonly used by organizations that need to comply with HIPAA or, or any other compliance that's out in the world. And it helps to successfully use to demonstrate in any compliance audits, in this case for HIPAA with OCR audits. And it also provides many advantages over other assessment reports that out in the world because it offers that reliability. And, it's just a little bit better than any other report because, you can rely on it. So it's just simple as it is, because this compliance and reporting pack provides that reliability by, providing transparency, scalability, consistency, accuracy, and integrity and efficiency. If you think about it, like I said, it's like a one-stop shop for HIPAA. Everything's mapped to HIPAA, so it's just easy, and it's scalable, and it's more accurate. You're not like, trying to figure out when those are auditing, you're not trying to gather everything. It's there for you, and you're working. It's a continuous monitoring is in place, so it's very efficient in that, and it integrates other work which you're already doing. So I would say that's the biggest reason why it's reliable, because it's, we can rely on this. By doing My CSF assessment, it also helps with your HIPAA audit.
Got it. And why is the HITRUST My CSF compliance and reporting pack for HIPAA the best approach for Office for Civil Rights or OCR audits?
When initiating a HIPAA compliance audit, right, the Office of Civil Rights, the OCR, will notify a covered entity in writing, usually by mail or email. This OCR letter would introduce the audit team, explain the audit process, discuss what they're expecting, and also ask for any evidences to provide, any documentation for all the questions. So, if the covered entity, after getting all of this information, they'll be able to submit documentation. If they can submit a documentation with a very strong written narrative response for all their questions, OCR investigators at their discretion may think like there's no further action is required, right? I mean, they're asking you to provide all this, and you're like giving a very good answer. In general, they're like, oh, they probably have everything in place, and we don't have to do any further audit. By, for that, to provide that a good narrative or a good response, you never know, because you never know when they're asking. You don't have everything in place, you don't have documentation, you started collecting. But by using the My CSF compliance reporting pack for HIPAA, we can gather the documentation that's needed, and to provide a compliance for them. Like, we can provide an assurance that, we're compliant, we have all the documentation. And also, in addition to that, for organizations with the HITRUST CSF certification, HITRUST also offers a free regulatory, assistance center. So you can always ask them if you have any questions, or even they'll help you through a HIPAA audit. So there's so much that you can do, and that would help our covered entities when they do get into these questions, or get a mail from OCR. The HIPAA compliance pack will really help them to gather the documentation that's needed.
Got it. That is definitely great information. I have one last question for you today. So how does the My CSF version 9.50 update incorporate modifications to support the introduction of this tool, the My CSF compliance and reporting pack for HIPAA?
As part of, HITRUST continuous commitment to improve their products and services, HITRUST always, will come up with some kind of feature. But I personally like the My CSF compliance reporting pack for HIPAA. This is not being done for any other versions before 9.5. So for 9.3 or 9.4, we do have some organizations that were working today asking for us, like, hey, can we get compliance pack, but we're still a 9.3 or 9.4, but we can't. You have to be 9.5 to get a My CSF compliance pack. But our suggestion is more like, hey, next year when you do an interim or validation again, we can just use the 9.5, because it's a great feature, and we want all our organizations that we're working with to have it. But this compliance pack for 9.5, the best benefit is because it streamlines how organizations capture and present HIPAA to, for their compliance evidence. Like I said, it's just a one-stop shop. You have everything related HIPAA in one place, and it's easy to collect evidence. It's easy to provide evidence, and it just saves so many hours just by, collecting and documenting, preparing. If you have an OCR audit, you have this My CSF compliance pack, it just saves you so much of time. So this kind of changed the trajectory a little bit after version 9.5, because it's easy for HIPAA audits, easy for HIPAA compliance. But like I said, for today, it's only with 9.5. If you're in 9.4, 9.3, anything prior, you don't have the pack. But if you are 9.5, you can have the HIPAA compliance pack.
Got it. Well, Swathi, thank you so much for all of your insight, and we look forward to seeing everyone next time on cyBARR Chats High Trust Edition.
Thank you.